Hello everyone, this is the Leech. I'm coming at you again with it's actually my second replay ever, and I've decided to do a whole series between MouzMana and Liquid TLO. Just start by telling you down here in the bottom position, the 6 o'clock position if you will, we have MouzMana, your green Protoss. Plays for Mousesports of course. He's a very, very solid Protoss player. And I'm not sure what this event actually was or why they were doing this best of 3, but I saw the games up on a replay site and I decided to cast this one. So once again, down here in the 6 o'clock position, MouzMana from Team Mousesports. And in the 12 o'clock position, everyone's favorite, Liquid TLO, playing as Random, I believe is what we're going to see him playing as. These two both, once again, very solid players. Liquid TLO always is an entertaining player and always finds a way to make games be a lot crazier than they have to be. They're both, of course, just building workers right now. Getting stuff ready for what's going to happen later on. Setting out his scouting SCV right now. And MouzMana has his gateway going down on 12. Very normal stuff. Very normal stuff. Gonna start chrono boosting out probes to get his economy up and rolling. TLO actually laying down his barracks. Okay, I thought it was on the low ground for a second, but nope, it's going to be the top ground. It was on 12, it looks like, as well. And he's getting his gas down right after he starts the barracks. So, once again, very normal stuff for now. We're not going to see any real changes until a little bit later on. Just so you guys know, too, I know I probably have a total of like 2 people watching my videos, but for those of you interested, I found a cool custom game the other day called Sumo's Defense, a tower defense game, and it was completely awesome, so awesome that me and my friend Jamada decided to play it until something like 4 o'clock in the morning the other night. I did completely beat the game, so I'm happy with it. I'm happy. How could I not be happy? It just kind of has a lackluster ending, but that's alright. We see Mana going to a cybernetic core after his first gateway, and still chrono boosting out probes. It does have 1 gas, it's fully saturated. TLO just throwing down a second supply depot, getting his orbital out, trying to chase down this probe over here that's running away. He's got his marine chasing after it. TLO, I believe, still has not found MouzMana, so he should be locating him here shortly. If you look down here, this SCV is running across the map. And down here we have a factory coming down for TLO, so possibly a 1-1-1. A lot of the Terran games that I watch with TLO, he does actually go 1-1-1 build. I'm sure he just likes the diversity of it and gets all his tech patterns down at the same time, so it's very interesting. For those of you that don't know, the 1-1-1 build is a barracks, is the first building, well, the first production facility that you build, and then you build a factory, and then you build a starport. Makes it so you can, once again, get all your tech down quickly and choose your route from there. You can play a lot more reactionary that way. Opens up a lot of options for you. See a stalker coming out for MouzMana. He's getting his warp gate research. Doesn't look like he's going to be chrono boosting that. I think he's just going to keep focusing on probes. He is actually moving out with his probe up there. Might be going to try and throw down a proxy pylon up here, or just control the Zelnaga Towers. Map control, of course, is always super important. TLO is getting his reactor down in his barracks, which a lot of people are starting to do now, just because the reactor takes so long to build. Start building that first. And TLO just throwing a bunch of supply depots down here. You'll notice that TLO isn't throwing them down behind the mineral patches back here. And this map, it isn't such a huge deal, but in the later maps, you'll find that it makes it a lot easier for air attacks. And once again, it's not a huge deal against Protoss, but if you're playing in TVT matches, putting your supply depots back here usually is not a good sign. And the reason that I know that is because I put mine back there all the time, and they always get demolished because I suck at this game. But I love it, so it's awesome. TLO's putting his command center down here, getting ready for his expansion. He'll float it down to his natural here. Still just pumping out Marines 2 at a time. Going to siege tanks now. He does have his tech lab down here, of course. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to make siege tanks. And probably get in that siege mode in a little bit. Probably won't rush to it too quickly as he doesn't see any crazy rushes coming at him. Do have a 2-gate robo out now with an observer coming out for MouzMana. And he's saving up his energy. Looks like he's chrono boosting out this observer, so wants to be ready for whatever, and just kind of getting a sentry out, all the basic stuff. Does have a second gas. And sentries sitting up at the ramp just to make sure they can get down to key force field. TLO starting to move out down here with multiple Marines and one siege tank. And if we look at the units tab right now, we'll see that TLO's sitting on 11 Marines, 12 Marines, 1 siege tank, a Hellion against 1 Zealot, 2 Stalkers, and a Sentry. We're going to see a bunker come down for TLO, so he could be going for a contain move because his expansion's probably just about finished. Yep, he is morphed into an orbital down. You see MouzMana starting to get his expansion down. TLO taking some damage from those force fields. Those early force fields can be really killer against Terran. It's going to be very annoying. Hellion, though, is just destroying those sentries. Of course, it's going to go down to the Stalkers, but the siege tank is still here, which will do a lot of damage to those Stalkers. TLO does lose all of his Marines, but he's got 2 more coming in. He does have the bunker back here and another siege tank. Bring the SCV around to try and repair this. Very good save by him. This Immortal, though, is going to do sick damage to those tanks and that bunker. They don't call them bunker busters for nothing. The Nexus down here does finish for MouzMana, and both these siege tanks are going to be taken out by this Immortal or the Stalker. There's no way he's going to be able to get away. TLO is still streaming down units here, and apparently just running them into the enemy forces. Does have a Hellion come down. That's going to get taken out as well, probably, if he's not careful. Yep, looks like the Immortal's going to take that out as well. Alright, TLO kind of losing some unnecessary units right now. He did still have 2 Marines in that bunker, but he might be just really wanting to take out this Immortal. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. All of these are going to die because of the Stalker speed. The Observer is starting to move out here for mana. Starting to head up towards TLO's base to see what's going on. See that he is getting out Banshees. He hasn't laid down his expansion yet. He might not feel quite safe enough. The nice thing about Terran is you can just get your 2 expansions up here in your main and just throw guys on your mineral lines. And when you feel safe enough, you can lift this up and land it down here, which is going to be right now. As he's got another siege tank out, and he'll start getting a gas on there at the expansion. TLO also getting another starport with another tech lab on it, so it should be interesting. He's not getting cloak, he probably won't, and still sticking on that 1 barracks 3 reactor, so he's not getting any upgrades for his infantry, which is very interesting. Going to be going for probably some more mech heavy play and just getting these Marines out for early defense. He is getting the double gas down to the expansion, so it is a pretty good indication that he's going to be going some sort of mech play. Taking a look down at MouzMana's base again, he's getting a few more gateways out. It looks like he's sitting at 4 up here with the Robo and then that Cybernetics fort that he built at the beginning. Other than that, nothing too crazy going on, just warping a few more units to fun defense. Did do a little poke up here. Wasn't trying to do any damage, just trying to look at what's going on, maybe see the army composition, what kind of defenses TLO has up here at his base. TLO, I still believe, nope, no siege mode still, and just pumping out Banshees. Kind of a strange build, but I guess if he expects Colossi or the Immortals to keep coming out, the Banshees will be a good counter to it, unless there's a Stalker heavy armor. And getting a little Banshee harass up here. TLO is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now with these Stalkers constantly running back and forth, and Sentries up here. He's definitely going to lose that. Phoenix coming out for MouzMana with this little Stargate here behind the minerals. And still just getting more observers. Don't have a robotic spade down yet, so no Colossi are going to be coming soon. He's just chrono boosting out a lot of Stalkers, which can be really annoying for harassment. See the double Forge come down here. He'll start chrono boosting double upgrades for his ground level attacks, which is a lot of Protoss are starting to do now, is go with that double Forge. TLO is getting Siege Tech and pumping out a Raven as well to get rid of those annoying observers. Getting a Medevac, another Barracks, and a 3rd command center is starting as well. Apparently this was before this latest patch because there is still islands up here, and as you can see, MouzMana got that War Prism and he's landed this probe up here so he can throw down an island expansion if he wants to. It's kind of an interesting choice. Still chrono boosting out these Forge, these double upgrades here. Few Phoenixes coming in. They're so fast and so annoying that they can be very difficult to deal with. Siege Tech is almost finished here for TLO. And 3rd expansion almost finished as well. Does have a few SCVs sitting around up here that needs to get back mining. Only has 1 guy on this gas here, but he might be doing that on purpose. A lot of these pros know what they intend to do, and they know how much gas they need for their builds. If we look at the units here, we're going to see that TLO has it's like a bigger army. 4 siege tanks, a Viking, 2 Banshees, a Raven versus 1 Immortal, 3 Zealots, 7 Stalkers, and some Phoenixes and some Sentries. He is pulling out with a lot of SCVs here. It looks like he's just going to be setting up to take this gold. He's going to do some long distance mining for a while. It is going to take him a little bit to float over that command center, so they might get 1 or 2 trips in. Also getting a missile turret here. This is a really interesting setup. It can be kind of hard to coordinate. I kind of suck at this big time trying to get these defenses set up just right there, getting the missile turret and the siege tanks down. More gateways coming down for MouzMana. And these guys just both sitting back and macroing up. He's almost done with his level 1 ground upgrades on this double forge. I'm sure he'll go right into level 2. He does have the Twilight Council just now finishing. And TLO's getting his level 1 upgrades on his infantry. Zella Lake's coming as well. That will be a huge deal later on when those Zealots can run right into the siege tanks as opposed to taking forever to get there and taking 4 hits on the way. Each player controlling the Zelnaga Tower here and just kind of watching what's going on. Making sure no one does anything too crazy when they're trying to get things set up here. TLO pretty much has this fully saturated here, calling down a bunch of mules. 5 mules here at the gold expansion. That is going to be a lot of mineral income and getting some of these missile turrets so the Phoenixes can't do any crazy harass. MouzMana also starting his expansion down there. 4 Phoenixes here heading out. Just gonna kind of take a look around once again. They are very fast. Oh, getting caught by 4 Vikings, so they need to get out of there quick because those Vikings can drop them. And that Phoenix just survives with 2 health. Alright. Lucky him. Lucky him. See some cannons going down here from MouzMana just in case any Cloak Banshees come out or just defend against Banshees at all. Those are really nice to have. Templar Archives coming down from MouzMana. As well as, like we said before, getting those level 2 upgrades. TLO is getting the Mobius Reactor for his Ghosts upgrade. He is getting Cloaking Field now for his Banshees. He's just got a million upgrades coming. Stim, Marauders, Marines, and Armory coming down so he can get his level 2 upgrades for his infantry. And he's almost got his 2 level 1s done. But this is going to be a pretty big deal here to have MouzMana having his level 2 done before TLO has his level 1 done. He also is researching Psionic Storm, which is such a pain in the butt for Terran to deal with. He's going to need some money EMPs here. This is before the EMP nerf, so those EMPs are going to be taking away all the energy, and that is a pretty big deal. TLO now starting to push out a little bit. He's got a grip of siege tanks here. Looks like 7 siege tanks, a few Vikings, some Banshees, some Medevacs. And it doesn't look like MouzMana wants to fight just yet. He wants to get in the right position, drops his Guardian Shield, and TLO is sneaking in with his Banshee. He's going to lose that, even though he had the cloaking up. There's an Observer ready.